Hello, everybody. It's video game movie Mania. Once again, a million years later, we're back. I'm Captain Logan, and joining me as always is Austin, the Day Ghost.
I was like this close to matching up my music this time. It was just off.
Well, it's probably difficult because it's not always exactly the same amount of time.
Oh, it's unfortunate. It was this close. It was like,
I get close
let
to
me
a minute.
introduce to you. Hello, everyone. I'm Captain Logan.
And we've got our special guest, our regular special guest, who's been on every episode so far. It's Brandon Grimm.
And I never get any less special. That's the great
right.
thing about it.
I hope you show up for every single one of them so that we can introduce you constantly, make a big deal out of, you guys won't even believe who we got this time. It's Brandon Grimm.
And look, I'm wearing corn today.
And we actually have a real honest-to-God guest this time, coming from the remote reaches of the top side of my house. It's Jayson!
Yeah!
Jason,
guys.
Jayson, why are you here on this one? Because four-person commentaries always work out.
Well, I mean, you know, like for some reason, you showed me this movie when I was like 8. And, like, it has a terrible script, it has terrible acting, and it doesn't hold up, but it's a great movie.
Thanks for that review. Good night, everybody.
Well, we don't need to do this commentary.
Guys, guess what? I got a map. You know what's on this map? California!
We did it.
This movie has Beau Bridges in it. I'm excited.
Yeah, there's some interesting cast here. So yeah, I've been excited to do this one ever since we decided to bring this madness back. Austin, thanks a bunch for doing this with me and for kind of helping to convince me to bring this whole thing back. We thought there wasn't a lot of interest in this show, and we were kind of putting other things front and center and prioritizing them, and then we decided, oh, you know what? Maybe the real problem is just that we didn't get any movies that anybody cared about yet. And also, the view counts on the earliest movies, not to make everything about that, but we do a lot of stuff here, and, you know, sometimes you have to kind of change things around and prioritize different things. If we were going to stop doing this, I wanted to do it really early, you know, but we went, because it's been 8 months since we made one of these, and
really?
yeah, it's been that long, and I went,
Wow.
and I went back and I looked at the view counts of the first 3, and they did a lot better over time, and so they were, like some of our commentaries, they started gaining traction later, and I was like, you know what, I think it's worth it to go ahead and try this whole thing again and start doing this regularly. So Austin and I have streamlined the list. We've taken a few things off of it. We got it all the way down to 60 movies. I think we're going to take maybe even a few more things off of it.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 55. It was like a really tight 55 where I was like, I'm going to be sad to lose anything else, but if we have to, we have to.
And half of that is Resident Evil.
Look, you could get,
Yeah, of course.
you could get
And
to
none of those
55.
can leave.
You could get to 55 movies and decide you want to keep going. Just add the ones you took off back to the list.
Well, no, I'm not worried about that.
It'll
That
take
won't
some-
happen.
we'll have to keep
And we're
adding
doing them in
stuff.
chronological order, so we certainly don't want to do that,
Oh,
Brandon.
well.
But the real question was, do we want to spend 1 year or 2 years doing this? That was the bigger thing. We're gonna do
5, actually.
We're gonna do this twice a month, as we initially were were intending, and it'll be Friday nights at 10 Central every other week. And tonight we're doing the Wizard, and next time, Austin, are we finally to the Mario movie, or is there even something else in between?
No, I think next one is Mario. Though I will say, I think we should just do it until we hit the point where, like, we started with Tron, and we can end with the Tron movie they announced this week with Jared Leto.
Yeah, but I'm
They'll all
hoping
go
somehow
full
that doesn't
circle.
actually end up getting made.
Jared
well, then
Leto
we'll
in a
just
Tron
never-
movie?
Jared
Go on.
Leto in anything? Why do we
right.
keep casting him in things? Stop
He's
it.
So weird.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and
Also,
get into what's up?
Also, I want to also be... No, this is a joke, but I also want to be on the Mario movie and the Mortal Kombat movie, so...
That's a joke.
Well, it's half a joke.
Why is that a
I
joke?
actually do.
Like, those are
I
things
actually
you like
do.
and know things about.
Yeah, I actually do want to be on there, but I know this is probably like the craziest thing ever, so...
So anyway,
Trying to put 4 people.
it's a Mania It's blind. I have not prepared for this. I haven't seen this movie since Jayson and I reviewed it years ago together when he was younger, quite a bit younger. And Brandon, you know, I think we've all seen this except for Austin. Austin has never sat through this movie.
That's right.
So that's
You're
going to
in
be
for a
fun.
treat.
And you said you saw this a lot when you were a kid.
I did, yes. It was one of the movies that the after school care and the summer care program that I did had, and we would watch it on the regular. It would just be playing, and I'd be sitting there watching.
Let me guess. It was that, Follow That Bird, and Flight of the Navigator.
Flight of the Navigator, but also this other movie called Donkashin, also known as Frog Dreaming. It's also known as The Quest. It was made in Australia.
This could have been called The Quest.
And then there's one other from my childhood that exists in the same way, and it's called The Lady in White.
Oh.
And it's a Halloween movie.
Okay.
You're a Halloween movie.
Anyway, yeah, it's a Mania, folks. This is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like pure pandemonium.
Strap in.
Yeah, strap in. 1989 is the year we're going back to today, and let's watch an hour and 40-minute commercial masquerading as a film, shall we? Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like
Yes.
when
Do
you
it.
said we're going back to 1989, you needed a harp that went.
If you are, yeah, and then the screen gets all
Ripples.
wavy.
Yeah.
There's ripples.
You know,
So-
89 would be such a good year if this movie didn't come out.
So, folks, real quick, if you're watching it with us, are you good?
I'm good.
Do you need a lozenge?
No. Take a
If
sip.
you're watching this with us and you rent this on Amazon, because there's not a lot of ways to watch this and it's not streaming on a service right now, so $4 rental or owning it is really your only option right now. If you're going to watch it with us and you're watching it on Amazon, make sure to get it not to timestamp 0, but to timestamp like 12 seconds. Get it past the anti-piracy warning. Is right at the beginning, because some people, if they're watching this on disc, won't have that right away. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here we go. Everybody good? Get ready to press play. When I say now, I'm just about to do that. Everybody, please press play right now.
You know, Universal owns Illumination. We could get an Illumination Wizard remake.
Doesn't the fact that it's Universal make it international?
That's an old Universal logo.
Yeah, but if you saw it in 1989, it was new to you. No, that's not true. They'd been using the same one for a good long time.
It's way better than their new stupid logo.
Austin,
Although-
I think the thing that you're likely to have, and I guess you will now that I'm saying this. Oh yes, I forgot about Christian
I
Slater.
did too.
I forgot that's who that was. But Austin, I think the thing that this is going to remind you most of, and I mean they were probably looking at this a little bit, is the AVGN movie, because it's a road trip movie about vintage video games, made
Oh,
on
okay,
like
interesting.
no budget.
Yeah. Just not a commercial.
I mean, you could look at that as sort of a commercial for AVGN, I guess, but
That is true. So I just realized this is Beau Bridges. We started with a movie with Jeff Bridges.
That's
And then
right,
we
they're
took a big long
brothers.
break. So if we end up having to table the series again, we have to make sure there's a Bridges movie for when we start back up.
okay. We'll make sure not to do that until we know the next one has a Bridges.
Yes, there might be a break before Tron Legacy.
Yeah, they're also the sons of Lloyd Bridges.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking the cinematography.
I like
I
that
mean,
the
so
shot
far
doesn't
it's a
end.
classic shot.
And directed by Todd Holland.
Good job,
This is
Tom
taking a
Holland.
while, though. Yeah, Tom Holland.
Way to go, Tom Holland.
I mean, Todd Holland.
What's even weirder when you go back to like Fright Night, where the director of Fright Night is Tom Holland. You go, wait a minute, what?
So, guys, movies, listening to DVD commentaries has has prepared me to be impressed, has taught me to be impressed every time I see a oneer, and that was technically a 2-minute oneer, so good job.
No, that was basically like the credits of the new movie Pearl, which is like a very artfully done one-shot. It was basically like that.
But Busted Sim said that my Wonder Years joke when I announced this went unappreciated. No, there was at least one person that said something about that.
That's good.
What did you say? I missed it.
On the community tab, when I announced that we were doing this, I said something along the lines of the Wonder Years of Nintendo, I think. California.
I did not realize that was one of the first lines in the movie.
Yes, and
I
it's
assumed that was
over
near the end.
and over again all the way through. Yes. Yeah, it's that repeated line that carries us through the film.
I like his shirt. Very cool.
But you know, in a weird way, I mean, we all make fun of that, and it's fair and it's funny. But in a weird way, it's kind of writing 101 stuff. I do sort of like that one of our protagonists, right at the start of the movie, like his catchword that he won't stop saying, is his motivation for the whole movie. Like I just sort of appreciate that. Like it gets what he wants right up front.
I don't think it's an issue with the writing. I think that it's I think that's more so why it gets made fun of.
Okay, he didn't turn around.
No, that's a good point.
Going the same direction.
But on the other hand, how would you deliver that line?
I wouldn't. I'd say no if they asked me to begin this.
Because to be fair, the idea is supposed to be that this is this kind of traumatized kid that's maybe got a mental disorder or like a mild one or a learning disability. There's a couple of different places that you know, his kind of antisocial, out of touch thing comes from.
I don't know.
He stays away from the river.
From something else.
Yeah, he was I want to say character actor, but no, he's more like a typecast actor that was in everything. I forget his name, but
He's traumatized.
Look, your son is a very traumatized boy.
Are they right now explaining everything I just said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to say that the script is writing 101 still?
Yeah, I'll die on that hill, sure.
Spell it out.
Look, as you know, your son is very troubled.
Hey, Jason, they're playing with those cardboard bricks that we have up in the playroom.
Oh man. Oh wait, I thought those were like the big Legos.
Oh, well, no, he has
Yeah,
big
he
Lego,
was.
but behind him, he's got the.
Oh,
Behind
right.
him
The cardboard
are
bricks.
the cardboard, but I didn't see that yet.
Yeah.
Used to have those at
Oh, yeah.
Wonderscope.
We have those.
So how old
What's
is Fred
going on with his
Savage?
eyebrows?
Yeah, he just went through like 8 different emotions in that one shot.
This is how Fred Savage has breakfast.
Do they seem like a family to you?
Yeah.
He seems like a child actor to me. Oh, look, they've got his headshot on their fridge.
That's an old stove and an old fridge.
Stone Gasman, man, I haven't seen The Wizard since on video in 1990. All I remember is the Mario 3 commercial shoehorned in at the climax. Yeah, that's the big thing that everybody, as a kid, took from this, because the game wasn't out yet, and it was the first time anybody even heard that it was for sure happening. And it was even, Jason, I believe, before it came out in Japan, because Japan got Mario 3 like a full... Am I right about this, that Japan got it like a full year before we did?
Yeah.
I think Mario World was that way. That they got Mario World a lot earlier than we did. And we're like pretending like the Super Nintendo wasn't even a thing while people in Japan were playing Mario World.
And that would never happen now.
No, it couldn't. It'd be impossible. The world is much smaller now.
Yes, it is.
What do you guys think they're drinking at the breakfast table? Or is it lunchtime? Maybe it's not breakfast.
Wine.
I think they're drinking red drink.
I guess I just always assume that if a movie opens with a family eating, it's breakfast, but maybe it's not breakfast.
No,
It's green.
At least he understands why they didn't eat it. But he took the tea out of the fridge in the pitcher, so...
Okay.
I was just guessing they were drinking fruit punch because it looks gross.
It did not look like fruit punch.
The like red drink.
That was more of a brown tea color.
Are we still talking about this?
Apparently.
Fred Savage's brother here spent 19 hours on his hair this morning.
Yeah.
Well, he really wants to be. Actually, I can't even say this because that comes out after.
Just gets up like
say he
that.
really wants to be Edward Furlong. I guess it's reversed.
Imagine Edward Furlong was trying to do that. It was like looking at this movie.
Well, the second
Hey,
you said
he could
imagine
have-
Edward Furlong, I just imagined John Connor in this movie.
No,
Yeah.
Jason, he could have. This movie only comes out 2 years after that. I mean, 2 years before that.
Yeah.
And look, it's typically every 80s kid's bedroom. Except
Wavy
really
darts.
generic.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's normally like, oh, look, this kid likes Darth Vader or whatever. This kid just likes maps and globes.
yeah, he's basically
Like me.
Jayson.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
a nerd.
this isn't like Poltergeist where there's like stuff slapped everywhere.
Yeah, and his
that's a
like
good point.
curtains are ducks.
You know, I
He
said
likes
that
maps,
prematurely
globes, and
because I was really
ducks.
expecting the camera to cut or the camera to turn and we'd see movie posters and stuff, and that didn't happen. So I guess it's one side of it is sort of typical because you have the educational side, and then
Oh look, I am an administrator,
you know when Jayson
and my last name is Simpson.
when Jayson was a toddler, Jayson, you're like 2 or 3 seconds ahead of us, I think.
Yeah, I was like 20 seconds behind you, so
Or maybe
that's
you're a
why
lot
I was...
ahead because I don't even know what you're talking about when you said administrator.
It was on a sign.
Oh, okay.
It was
I
on a
guess that's
sign.
fine.
But yeah, when Jayson was a toddler, his first word was geography.
Really?
No. I'm just making fun of you
But
because you're
every
obsessed
kid
with
in the
geography,
80s
and
had
your
a
room should be
globe.
this kid's room. He's got globe and
It
maps.
kind of is. I'm looking around and like there's a globe there.
That's true. You do
There's
have some of that
maps
stuff,
everywhere.
No, every '80s kid had a globe,
But
but
it's
it was just like a thing.
but it's offset with other things.
Mm-hmm.
California.
So yeah, when you're a kid, like AVGM was right when he reviewed this. James Rolfe, you watch this movie as a kid, and you're just waiting to get to the video games. That's why you're there. Like you want it to be an hour and 40-minute Nintendo commercial, and it's forever before we get to anything. Like this stuff is boring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you don't know when, like, you didn't tell me anything about this movie when I first watched it.
Yeah.
And then, like,
So you had no expectations, but if you went when you were a kid, it would be because you saw the commercials.
yeah.
Meanwhile, in the hostess truck, effing snowballs!
Ah, I was about to ask you what do you think's in that?
I was about you.
So they
Keep
just
me
climbed
like
into
3
this-
seconds.
They,
We're
they-
on that.
they climbed into this random truck with no idea what direction it was going to head.
Yeah, I don't think you can trust a guy that drives a hostess truck.
Yeah, what a good.
Brandon, what the
Kids-
heck are
kids-
you
I'm
wearing?
joking.
Truck full of candy. They're gonna take you to California.
Boy, so these guys are real uninformed on whatever it is that Jimmy has, and I just feel like this is real bad.
I'm not sure how cartoony this movie is supposed to be.
Yeah, the guy in the suit is like not Phil Hartman. Like they were like, oh man, we're gonna get Phil Hartman for this role, and then he
No,
said
I'm with
no.
you, Brandon. I cannot remember what I've seen him in, but it's like
Uh-huh.
every 80s TV show ever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's probably in a Matlock and a Lois and Clark,
Yes.
and yeah, that's 90s, but you know what I mean.
Yes. I think they just said his name was Mr. Putnam. Now I'm gonna look him up.
Like sitcoms and things. Acting. More acting.
Acted.
You know Batman, Bateman. I'm guilty by association. And all my family has these eyebrows. It's like they cast this kid because he also did the weird eyebrow thing. Busses him, Brandon, just so you know, every joke you make this commentary will be the corniest thing ever.
Oh, indeed it will.
It will. Did you see his shirt, Brandon? I mean, Austin.
Which guy's shirt?
Brandon.
Brandon's.
Oh no, because I just have Lord Zed.
You can't actually see us right now?
Lord Zed.
Oh, that's
yeah,
weird.
Brandon is just wearing
It's
corn
corn.
on the cob shirt.
It's just corn.
No, when he said earlier, I'm just wearing corn, my head was filled with lots of images of what that could look like.
We're
But-
screen sharing. Can you not see us? Jayson, can you see us?
No.
No, I can't.
Okay, I'll try to fix that. Hold on.
But I'm looking at a still from the YouTube video. That's why I saw
That's
what
cool. I mean, it's
he
not
was
that
wearing.
important. As long as you can hear us, that's what really matters.
Nothing's very important.
There's just something. I mean, nothing against people who make their living driving a Hostess truck. Oh no, our movie just stalled out.
Uh-oh.
That's no good.
I wish this kid only said California, like he was Groot. Like he's like, oh.
And if you said it with different inflections and things, it means different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he would just say it the same way. They would just know.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna try to get this fixed here.
So the sign there says like we have, and then like a drawing of a box or something. I don't know what that's about. That's weird.
Jayson, what timestamp do you have right now?
Oh, should I give you mine? Because he's gonna have the
15:30.
12 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead, Austin.
It's 14:57.
Oh, Jason's way ahead of us.
Now 15 minutes.
Oh wow, I'm way ahead of you. What?
You're gonna have to back it up there, Jayson.
This is definitely
Wait,
a
but-
Mania.
Austin, what
Perfect,
scene
yeah.
are you at?
They're walking down the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're walking down the highway.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not. Well,
Well,
anyway.
listen,
Oh, did you have?
I like
maybe-
holos. What do you think? What about snowballs? Do you like effing snowballs?
Maybe there was other logos
See,
you guys had. I've
They
seen
don't know
that.
how good they have it, Austin, because in the middle of their trying to go to a video game tournament, the zombie apocalypse could happen, and they could not be able to get their hands on Twinkies anymore.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah.
You know, imagine
Austin,
if this
did you
was
not
that
have
story.
the big Universal logo?
No,
Where
I
it was
had
like,
that.
na na na.
Yeah. I had the
I
universal.
had
logo.
that.
This is how
That's really
riveting this
weird.
movie is. All we can talk about is why Jason's timestamp is weird.
You know what else they're lucky about, Cab? They could be in Zombieland 2.
Yeah, the first video game, and it's 16 minutes in.
Yeah, good call. And one of them is out of order.
What are these video games?
Oh, it's Double Dragon.
It's a play choice.
No, the other one.
I don't know. It's out of order. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
We could see it from a distance.
Yeah, that's Double Dragon.
If I worked in Hollywood, every script that I would write would have the same opening as Double Dragon. It's just such a good way of opening a story.
This is a terrific point from Seven Beetle of Doom, if it's true. Now, I've never heard this, and he might just be making a joke. Is it possible that this movie starts with a script that has nothing to do with Nintendo, and then they kind of reskin it? Because he says all the
I'd
depressing
be
family
shocked.
drama and appropriate jokes, maybe he means inappropriate jokes, I don't know, were left over from pre-Nintendo Wizard script. I wonder if that's true.
That would surprise me anyway. I mean, we did that with like big franchise movies too, let alone just this.
So this is a famous line, partly because David Gian made fun of it so hard. in his review, but the whole 50,000 on Double Dragon thing. This movie is weirdly quotable, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's silly because that score doesn't really make any sense if you played Double Dragon as being like a big deal.
Yeah, that's not very good. And also, we'll get to it later, but the whole thing with Mario 3 and the announcer saying rounds always stuck with me.
You know
It's
what?
like, round 2!
That cardboard
It's like,
cutout
it's
is
not
creeping
fighting
me
it.
out, Brandon.
It's Mario.
Yeah, I'm noticing.
You know what
all
the
the
worst
product
thing for
names
that
are
is,
showing up
Jason?
in this.
Yeah.
Do you know Uncharted, the Naughty Dog series? In Uncharted 4, there's one level where you have to play Crash Bandicoot, and Naughty Dog made Crash Bandicoot, and it's like, oh, you gotta beat my high score and stuff. Like, that's not in that game. It's so weird. I'm like, you made this. How do you not know?
Yeah, that's not how you compete in a platformer, if you even want to compete in a platformer.
Mm-hmm. It's so strange. I mean, so many video game movies
wax
have that
your
'cause
tail.
What does
nobody
that
worked
mean?
on them played.
So, if you're a lot younger than me, like Austin, who's like 5 years old, and you, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm a lot younger than you.
Yeah.
If you're a lot younger than me,
Jayson won.
and you weren't around when this came out, in movies like this from the period, you might hear weird lines like that and think, wow, they had some really strange slang by then. Like all the kids were back then. All the kids were saying weird stuff. I don't think that was a thing. Like I think there's a lot of made up lingo in this, trying to sound hip or something from out of touch adults.
Well, I have that now, let alone back then.
Well, look how amazing this kid is at Double Dragon.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
look at
slice and
this.
dicer.
I just don't feel like this was the right game to make a big deal out of how amazing he is. Even.
What game would you have him play?
Ninja Gaiden? Like something that looks more impressive on screen. Because I'm not saying that Double Dragon is like a really easy game. I was never into that, so I don't actually really know how difficult that is. But like a beat 'em up is not what I would go to. I'd go to a really difficult platformer.
Is Ninja Gaiden on arcade? I don't know.
Well, that's a good point.
Galaga, maybe?
Yeah, but they're
Pac-Man?
trying to make a big deal out of Nintendo stuff, and it becomes more about console than it is about arcades. And all I'm saying is, couldn't you have contrived
true.
that? But couldn't you have contrived that to be a console game instead of
Absolutely.
instead of an arcade machine pretty easily? Busted Sim. Either way, sling like that is whack.
Yeah, slang like that and crack is whack.
He's just stuffing his mouth on screen.
So I referenced this movie earlier, but Jayson, these guys that will end up chasing after our heroes remind me of the blue bird bad guys from Follow That Bird.
Oh, there you go, Cap.
Yeah, that.
Oh, see?
But
Now he is.
also-
I forgot about that. Now he is playing Ninja Gaiden. Why wouldn't you start with
What is
that?
he playing it on? A table?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, it's a tabletop that's in that table. Because those would be everywhere, Austin.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. Just like in this random cafe.
I'm with you, though. I wish the only thing he said was California.
Right? And then they'd be like, you're right, Jimmy. Little Susie's stuck in a well.
Oh, yeah, they should have done that. They should have made him Lassie.
Yeah. Well, no, she would be laughing.
You're,
Oh, no, I
you,
guess- no, I
you're
guess
screwing
that's
up
the
his
thing.
game.
Oh, 50,000 in Double Dragon was a foreshadowing for the $50,000 prize.
That's stupid. That's so stupid. I never realized that.
It is.
It's true and it's stupid. Is this not, I can't remember what, but is this not the second movie in this series where we've seen a Sinclair gas station truck stop? I thought we pointed that out in something else.
Oh, the Sinclair truck stop is also foreshadowing for where they visit later because it's got a dinosaur on the logo.
Yeah. And I can't remember where, but I have suggested before that the reason the Disney TV series in the early 90s, Dinosaur, that the main character in that is named Sinclair is because of the truck stop.
Okay, yeah.
Because it has a dinosaur on it?
That makes sense, yeah. Oh, there's that stupid truck again.
But to a point you made earlier that I don't think anybody actually heard, there is a lot of product placement in this that's not video games, just all over it. But I don't know. It's sort of like Ghostbusters 2016. I don't know how much of it is actually intentional or not, or how much of it they just like gets shoved in, but that they didn't actually pay anybody for.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got Coke signs in the background and like you know, did Hostess pay for that?
With that one, I'd have to imagine they did, because it's like a prominent scene.
Yeah, but you would have also thought that with the Pringles can in Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't trust Paul Feig. He doesn't know anything.
What an asshole.
So this is the scene that immediately... Oh, that's all right. This is the scene that immediately makes me go, I don't want to watch this anymore.
I mean, it turns into a hoedown and a redneck
See, this is just like a cartoon.
Yeah, and like, it's not funny, there's no sort of comedic timing, it's not good slapstick, and the music really doesn't help. Because the music is saying, laugh at this. I mean, Austin, it's paced like plumbers don't wear ties.
And then you basically have Christian Slater go, so who's for Chinese? That's how we ended that scene.
I feel like the big missed opportunity with these antagonists, they should be the ones in the Hostess truck. Because wouldn't it be fun if our bad guys were chasing our heroes the whole movie in a Hostess truck?
That'd be hilarious.
That's what we should be doing. Jayson is like the Krispy Kreme in Power.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, there's a cow.
Yeah, this little girl is like not Bev from the new It movies.
Oh, sure.
So growing up, I always felt weird about her character, Haley's character, because I just felt like she knew way too much for, you know, getting around, and she's done things she probably shouldn't have at this age.
She's too streetwise?
Yes.
She's like...
And I know she comes from a bad home, like that's part of the thing, like it comes up, but like I get the feeling that she's done stuff, like the character.
You think she's done stuff?
Yeah.
It's really ominous, Brandon.
Well, she was just talking about like how that cow's a good show cow because of its legs. Like she just knows things, I guess. It's got the same hoedown music while they're attacking.
What is going on?
Yeah.
With this music.
We gotta...
I haven't seen this movie in like 4 years.
We gotta find some way to waste an hour 40 minutes here. We got a crane shot, you guys. They spent some money on this movie. They got a crane.
And then it was over.
Yeah, they're literally throwing the budget around right now.
Yeah, that girl is like Hermione Granger if she was Ferengi or something.
I was thinking Hermione too, especially when Brandon was saying his thing about her.
The reason she's so streetwise, Brandon, is because she's got a time turner.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Miss Granger.
That's what he was just saying. That's why I said that.
Yeah, I missed that part.
It was in
Look,
your headset, Brandon.
They towed it, but they left the screwdriver in the... Because that's how you do that. You ain't even a white wall tire? That's old-fashioned.
But yeah, this is a really cynical kind of movie for lots of reasons. Like, you know, some of the product placement stuff we were talking about, but also just trying really hard to make it feel like shove adult stuff in some adult language. Not that it's like super vulgar or anything, but kids at this time are like, oh cool, you said damn or ass, and so I love this movie. And
I love Christian Slater's clearly never played a video game. So
Yeah.
that scene, he's just like, and then it cuts to the game and it's Mario. He's just standing there and he like moves, like
yeah, it's amazing.
and he's like,
Yeah.
Christian Slater's really struggling to move slightly to the left.
But yeah, there's something kind of mean-spirited about the way adults treat children with this movie, I always thought.
Oh yeah.
And I get that you want conflict and you've got to have, the antagonists in the way of your heroes, but it kind of paints this really, rough, kind of dark picture of adults for children. In the wrong movie for that is the point I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place for cynicism, and there's a place for showing the real world to children. I don't know that this is it. I do something a little more heightened with a story like this, especially because it also doesn't feel real in the first place, because none of your characters seem like real people.
Oh, there's a clock.
Wait a minute.
I was playing
Is
Zelda
that who
in the
I think that
arcade.
is? This guy at the arcade machine, Austin? You know who he looks like?
Who's that?
He looks like Dinkovich. Okay, I don't think it is,
No.
but he looks a lot like him. There was a
No way.
for a
Get
side
outta
profile
here.
for a second, it looked like him. No, it's not him, but it
He
looked
looked
like him.
like former Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau when he turned around.
Some of these
Am I
old
supposed
guys
to
are-
know who that is?
Yeah, he's the father of our current Prime Minister, and he looked like a goblin.
Look, I don't waste my time on Canada.
I didn't know you guys had political dynasties too.
I'm kidding. Obviously, I've heard of that person. But Tom, $2 super chat from earlier. He just wanted us to know that he bought the movie on Vudu. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
And Brandon's girlfriend Nikki is in the comments, and she says Ferengi Hermione Granger is my new favorite character. I got lots of friends.
You know who would have been great in this movie?
She's a girl, so she's got to brush
Who's
her hair,
that?
Brandon.
Barrett Oliver
Seems a little sexist.
Who?
from the guy who played Bastion in Neverending Story.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I've
you
still
just
never
blew my
seen it.
mind that you know the name of the actor
Yeah.
who played Bastion in Never-Ending Story. Holy
That's crazy.
crap, dude.
What? What was the end of that scene? He put on those.
That was amazing!
Why?
The best part was the sound effect when she punched him,
Huh.
because that's not what it sounds like when you punch a person anyway, Brandon, but especially if you're wearing a rubber
Here, let's
mask.
find out. Let's find out.
Okay, well, I gotta go get a rubber mask. Let's see what it sounds like if you punch corn.
Wait, I'm not seeing this. What is? Are you guys actually punching each other?
Yeah, Brandon's bleeding right now.
Oh, and Jayson laughs.
It's like this movie wants to be the Karate Kid or something.
Yeah.
Are you having that vibe a little bit?
Yes.
Well, now we're just with the Hell's Angels.
Yeah, now we need the obligatory biker scene in the Nintendo product placement movie.
Oh, look at all those animals.
Look how slow
Jimmy's
they're
gonna end up
driving by.
killing Pablo Escobar at the end of this movie.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
There's no chance there's a camera on a motorcycle right now, Brandon. That is not motorcycle footage.
I like the sign in the background that just says "Eat,
He eats.
eat."
Hey, everybody's got to eat.
I remember when we used to have maps. We
I don't
drove.
understand how
Oh
when
my
kids
gosh.
are hitching rides.
Remember that?
How
I mean, I wasn't there,
The
but,
adults
you
are
know.
so far
Yeah.
behind them
That's a really good point.
because they are able to move faster.
You remember back when you could hitchhike?
No.
I still
Wasn't-
see people
wasn't old
hitchhike.
enough.
You remember? You remember listening to adults when you were a kid talking about how cool it was when you could hitchhike?
My one granddad, he went hitchhiking with his one friend. They were going to Toronto from like an hour away, and his friend had like a heart attack halfway there, so he dropped his friend off at a hospital and then continued to hitchhike to Toronto.
See, the big problem with this actually is that it's a road trip movie. If we could get to the tournament as like our first act plot point, and then just do some kind of interesting character drama stuff at the tournament and do a lot of tournament stuff, maybe there'd be a movie there.
There's that spider beetle.
This montage has gone on for like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
What you have instead
Yeah.
is just wasting a lot of our time, like taking like this feels like somebody's like travel log, you know, somebody's home movie is going across country and they just happen to film a movie while they were doing it. You know what this
We've
is,
done
Austin?
that.
This is a modern Adam Sandler film.
See, if I were to rewrite this to add more video game stuff, like that part where they're in the montage and the bikers go by, I'd have Jimmy be like, "Excite bike."
The only thing he says besides California is names of video games that situations
Yeah.
remind him of.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're like, "Oh, what did you say?" And he's like, "California."
What is
And they're like,
Romstar? And then F1 Dream. Is Romstar
Racing
the
game.
is that the name of the
Romstar-
company that made that? Maybe.
F1
It's a Rom
Dream.
Space Knight.
No,
game.
F1 Dream I've heard of, but
During that montage, there was a point where that guy Bateman.
I'd pay
I think that
real
was his
money if
name.
that woman would shut up. I'm sorry, what?
The guy came up to those
Roger!
two kids who kind of looked like them from behind, and he grabs the one kid and turns him around. Can you imagine if that happened today? If some random guy walked up to a young kid, grabbed him, turned him around, they'd it'd be a whole thing.
It was a
Can't do
different
that.
time, Brandon.
It was a different.
It was a better
time.
time. I remember feeling very safe at this period
Yes,
when I was a
this
kid.
is the best part.
When at any point an adult might grab you and harass you in the middle of a restaurant. I miss those days, Brandon.
F1 Dream was released by Capcom in 1988.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't know what that word meant on that machine.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Forget just like walking into a place and
Oh,
grabbing a
here's
child. I wish you
Rufio.
could walk up and just like punch them.
That doesn't look like 97.
That is not 97. That is 12. Maybe there's
Yeah.
another row underneath, which would make it 24.
Yeah, no multiple of 12 makes 97.
Oh yeah, look how cool this thing is.
I mean, it did look pretty cool back in the day.
It did, but it didn't work.
It didn't work, but it looked
Even at the
amazing.
time, I didn't understand what the point of it was when I was a kid. I was like, how do you play games with this?
Look at these sound effects when he like presses it.
It's so bad. Well, okay, who wore it better though, Lucas or Freddy Krueger?
You know, it's a tie, I think.
Okay, because they're both losers.
And by the way, he is like every kid in a commercial for
Hardcore.
a board game in the 90s.
Yeah. Crossfire.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
that's what I was gonna say. Is I'm waiting for him to start trying to sell me Crossfire. And yeah, this is just a commercial right now for the Power Glove, which is actually really funny because that was, well, no, I'm wrong about Jayson. I was about to say the Power Glove was third party, but if memory serves, wasn't there a company that started developing that, and
Yeah.
then Nintendo ended up like bringing them aboard and they made it first party?
Yeah, that's what happened. There was a woman that was like, it's a long story. But there was like a woman that was like designing a thing for it, and she was like, "Oh, the NES is the perfect thing to do this with."
See, that music is just commercial music. It's wonderful. I love the Power Glove.
That
Did
is
this guy ever do anything else?
acting.
Oh, what a weird line.
Yeah, I know.
Just keep her power gloves
so
off
bad.
her. Huh?
But again, Austin, that was the commercial. The Power Glove is so bad.
No, I know that line. I'm talking about the just keep your power gloves off her, okay, bud?
Yeah.
If only it was capped off by California.
Oh yeah, Grim Death Griffin. I forgot that the Power Glove was in 8-Bit Christmas. I did watch that, and it was really throwaway, and I don't remember hardly anything in that except
That
for the
movie's
growling,
fine.
talking NES. I remember that, and I remember the treehouse, but that's all I remember.
Do you
Oh, what
remember
is
the
this
really?
saying?
Yeah, this is.
Do you remember the
unfortunate.
bus?
No, I
And,
don't remember
like,
the bus.
The woman that kept being like, "Oh, NES is bad for you,"
Oh yeah.
and they.
I
Like,
mean,
they
I
were,
remember
like,
that
stuck
in
on
the mall,
bus.
but what does that have to do with the bus?
They were like on the bus and they were like trying to get an NES even though they weren't allowed to.
Oh, okay.
And then there was like that vomiting scene.
Oh God. Why are we
That
talking
was the
about this
moment
movie
where
now?
I was like, yeah, this movie sucks.
Austin, is that on the list?
What, sorry?
Do we have to watch 8-Bit Christmas for this?
I've never even heard of 8-Bit Christmas.
Okay,
Is
we're
it
gonna-
theatrical?
We're gonna skip 8-Bit Christmas.
Okay.
We haven't seen him play.
Are
the
you guys
Turtles
doing
game yet.
pixels?
It's basically just
It is
this,
on the list.
but more sappy
Oh no.
and somehow
Can
less
somebody
cynical.
make this, but more scenes of like a teenage boy sleeping with his dad?
Yeah, that was always
I
a weird
need
scene.
more of this, please.
There's so much of that in 8-Bit Christmas, you don't even know.
Oh god.
That came out 2 years ago? I think Christmas before last?
I think so, yeah.
I've never heard of this.
Was it a Max exclusive, Jason?
Yeah, it was a Max exclusive. And it had,
It's not eligible then. It's straight to streaming.
Yeah,
and
but
it
I
has
think it,
Neil Patrick Harris in it.
yeah, but it did. But Austin, I think it would have gone to the theater if it weren't for COVID. I think it was one of those situations.
Well, then COVID saved us.
Thanks, COVID. I mean, I don't mean to actually thank COVID.
If
So,
there's one
Christian
good thing
Slate-
COVID gave us, it's skipping 8-Bit Christmas.
Christian Slater was 20 at the time of this movie.
Dad, I'm so tired of sleeping with you. I'm gonna play some Nintendo.
And like, why did he bring the Nintendo along for this trip?
And then they find a way to like play it in the car at some point.
See, that also happens in the AVGN movie. See, he's got to get some insight into the kid. That's why he's got to play the Nintendo. You know, he's doing some
I
investigating.
didn't even have to plug anything in. You just put it on top of the TV instead.
Yeah.
And you didn't put it with, like, was the cartridge just already in it?
No, he
No,
put
he
it
opened
in.
it up.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Okay, sorry.
I like it later when he shuts it off and he goes, I was getting everything. He's like, Dad, you were losing.
You mean you could just walk over it?
Yeah, Dad, you can just walk over it.
So wait, he really didn't actually have to hook it up to the TV?
He's also doing. He's like.
Yeah. It's the scroll weapon.
Mecha Turtle?
Oh, I want. What is the book
He's moving the
reading?
controller
See
as
that?
if it does something. As
Now,
if
to be
it's
fair,
alive.
that's how
what
my
games
stepmom
do
always
you
played.
Oh.
Oh,
Wait,
I mean, it's a
what do you mean
sympathetic
scroll?
response, right? Like you just feel like it does something.
Weapon.
So it's not
What's
like
it-
this. It's
No,
not
he
like
just said I need to get the or I got the scroll weapon.
You got the scroll. He's playing
They're a
Ninja
drive-in theater.
Turtles.
yeah.
What are they talking about?
Yeah, and then they're just making up. Like, see, this is what's irritating about it. It's like they made this trying to get kids to go see it because they love video games, but they hope the kids wouldn't notice the really obvious random crap they're making up. It's like it's
Well,
the
it's
kids
like
that would
Wayne's
know
World
this
says,
stuff.
Kids know nothing.
But even if there is a thing in that game, Jayson, called Mecha Turtle, how would he know what it's called? It's not like there's any text in the game that tells you what.
Did you say Mecha Turtle?
Yeah, he said I got the scroll weapon and beat Mecha Turtle.
He said I beat Mecha Turtle at the end of level 3, like that's a boss. And I don't know that game well enough past the first couple levels to know what the boss is. And also, there's no level order in that game. Like, like you can play that you can play the levels in a lot of different orders. At least when you're on the street, because you can go in and out. Like, nobody would discuss that as numbers of levels, really.
Yep, he's
That is a
the
weird name for a
he's the
villain,
boss of level
Mecha
3.
Turtle.
I still don't know how he knows what that's called, but
I mean, there's Mecha Sonic. I guess you just haven't seen enough stuff that does that. But
Mecha Godzilla.
I did a whole video recently talking about Mecha Sonic.
yeah.
Acting.
Oh no, a car.
Oh no, it's the remake of them. Ah, come on, Fred Savage. You didn't have to kick over his tower.
He knocked
jerk.
it over several times.
You guys are like 5 seconds ahead of us, so you keep getting to make fun of stuff before we've even seen it happen. That seems unfair. Wow, this is some riveting conflict. You
What is
took us
happening?
for $20 last night.
Why couldn't these just be like older kids? Why do they have to be like 28-year-olds beating up like a 6-year-old?
Well, I think it's like a Power Rangers or a Smallville situation where we're supposed to imagine that they're 15.
Yeah, but they were driving a truck.
I mean, I was driving a car at 16.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are there like different like how old do you have to be to drive in Canada?
Well, 16, but you have to.
I think
have
it's
somebody with you
25 is the
until-
sense I'm getting.
You have to drive with somebody when you're 16. You can be 17 and drive on your own.
The Aniverse says
Wait,
it's that scene from Back to the
Austin-
Future 2. I was actually thinking of 3, Brandon. That's the $80.
Also, what
Oh, I was
province
thinking
do you
of.
live
I was
in?
thinking of
Oh,
since they're
Ontario.
driving. I was thinking they're not thinking fourth
That's what I
dimensionally
thought.
earlier when it first showed up at the drive-in.
That looks like real blood.
Oh yeah,
Already
no,
drive.
that's definitely.
It was drawn with a marker.
You say in a van down by the river?
And now we got the tragic backstory. I almost went there earlier.
Do you guys have subtitles on?
Yeah.
Or you guys
No,
just
I never watch subtitles. I just have it in my ear.
Yeah, which you really
Oh.
should do. It makes it a lot easier to comment on things, but
I got it. I got it.
I like the abandoned film reels.
big water?
you got no mates.
Stupid bunnies.
Now we're just quoting other movies because this movie is boring.
I don't know. I'm being like riveted in this drama.
Are you? This
Yeah.
tragic backstory.
No, everything like them getting beat up by like 40-year-olds, looking at pictures, all the hoedowns. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Because Christine was my dad's second wife and a car.
I was really sad when my stepmom ran me over.
Why do I feel like every indoor set in this movie is a redressed laundromat.
I guess it is.
And it goes without saying, but this movie is just a kind of poor man's pinball wizard, right?
Well, so far,
It's even called the
it's
Wizard.
So far, it's like characters hang out, and then in the next scene they get robbed. Then they hang out some more, then they get robbed.
Yeah, it's a
Robbed
cartoon.
like 6 times so far.
Okay, so apparently the scroll weapon was actually a weapon in that game.
Oh, was it? Okay.
But it was like terrible, and he's like, and it's like there like in every level, and he's like, and it does like 2 damage. And he's like, oh, you got the scroll weapon?
They did
he's
6
like a
seconds of
40-year-old man
cursory
in
research.
underwear. He doesn't know.
They probably thumbed through a couple of Nintendo Powers and saw like names of items that were in it. And oh, you're right. That is a play choice, Jason.
Huh?
That is a play choice.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that boxing game is.
Well, a guy like nearly threw
that-
the pinball machine with 1 arm, and he looks like a dweeb. How light? How light?
Final boxing?
Maybe.
He just can't get anywhere.
Final blow, probably.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, the music! When they saw this guy, the initial guitar beat sounded like it's about to break into
already
a
been wearing a seatbelt.
Bon Jovi soft ballad, and then it turned into hoedown music again, and then back.
It's horribly cheesy.
I'll take all your money.
And this
If
is
you
not a
look at me
situation
funny.
of a thing that's kind of dated now but worked then. Like this didn't work then.
It did not. No, you're right
No,
about that.
this wouldn't work at any period.
What's with all the hoedowns? What the heck?
No, like
Yeah.
I said, it started off as like a
Neil
Bon
Dude.
Jovi soft ballad, and then turned into a hoedown. It's very weird.
Oh dear.
You know what I
I mean,
White
jokes on
Walker.
you.
You
You
know what I
also
expect this
like
old guy to
crapped
say?
out your
What's that?
truck.
run for fun. What the hell kind of fun is that? Jason,
Boy.
why are they driving L Seed's pickup truck? Like,
yeah.
like with the tree in the back?
I think this is Beau Bridges' finest acting performance.
Is
See,
it his
feels
only
like they
acting
should be the
performance?
Dukes of
No.
Hazzard,
Oh, okay, okay.
but they're just not.
That's all, by the way, the closest we get to like vehicle chases. Well, that's actually not true because I guess the closest thing you get is a chase in Universal Studios at the end. Like, the most production value they have is going somewhere and filming there. Look, guys, we went to we didn't even go to Vegas. We went to Reno.
Don't make fun of them, Cap. They had a budget and they got robbed.
Jason, why are there all these tick references before the tick happened in this movie?
Yeah.
Because now we're in Reno, Nevada.
Yeah.
You know you want to.
Just being in Reno is a tick reference?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's an episode of the animated series called The Tick versus Reno, Nevada, and he gets addicted to gambling.
Yeah, I think they're both just referencing Reno.
Well, no, I know. I'm just joking. So you didn't catch what I said earlier because you don't know that show, but but the Reno thing came up like a minute and a half after I mentioned El Cid, and I was like, all these things are making me think of the Tick.
Okay, I forgot that was a tick thing, yeah.
I'm not saying they're actually references because this happened first.
I don't know, it's already referenced T2 with Christian Slater's haircut.
So
Yeah, you're right. She's way too street smart. Why does she know everything about gambling?
yeah, and they shouldn't even be allowed on the floor.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah.
No, that scene was awful and boring.
I grew up some in casinos, and when you're underage, you can't go on the floor. Yeah. You can walk through if you're on your way to a restaurant or something with your parents, but you can't stop at a table like that. Also, why was that table being run by Jerry Lewis?
Gave him $10. Oh, here's the Nintendo.
Yeah, sure,
hotline.
that's Nintendo headquarters.
And it is kind of
They've all
fun that
got
they did that.
Nintendos.
This is probably more or less what it looked like.
It's
Yeah,
probably
more or
more
less, but
Japanese
that's
people.
Oh, did you
Can't
see,
get a job in video games.
Jayson? Did you see John Linnell over there answering phones?
yeah.
Young off-brand Matthew McConaughey right there.
Busted Sim, this movie is studios not thinking they can make drama out of people staring at screens and rapidly button tapping. Little did they know hacking scenes would prove them right. Yeah,
Why does she need to?
but at
Why
this
does she not?
at this point we have seen things that have done that well. Like this movie would look very different after 24. How much is that of that show is people intensely staring into computers, yelling things in phones?
Well, now I want Jimmy to start torturing people.
Yeah, that is what this movie needs, is just Jack Bauer. Like, absolutely.
Why does that girl need to know anything about Simon's Quest?
Because reference.
He suddenly has sunglasses.
Yeah, they're
But
picking...
imagine,
some of these are strange games for tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I like that with Ninja Turtles there, at least they showed a difficult level.
That's Mega Man 2, right? Or is that Mega Man 1?
I think that's
I don't know.
2, but I don't know the
only
Mega Man
played
games very
2.
well, so...
I think it's
There's
2,
another
because I think I've
choice.
seen that level before.
That's
It's
another
the
Play
one I've
Choice
played.
10, which makes me think that either those were everywhere, or they have a few arcade machines and they're taking them on
From
trucks
place to
to
place.
different locations. That might have been the same cabinet.
Why would you do a tournament for Metroid?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Why is he practicing that? Oh, and also, to your point earlier, Austin, he's playing lots of games right now that didn't have cabinets on cabinets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my point from the beginning of this commentary stands.
They don't know anything about video games.
Well, and they shouldn't have started with Double Dragon
Contra.
to show us how impressive this guy is at video games.
Also, doesn't this guy know all the
Did you see how
cheats
great
and
he
stuff?
was
Why
at
isn't he
Contra?
playing
He
with
just fell
like
down.
Just died.
the Konami code and the Narcosword code and stuff? Like what?
Although there is more game footage here than I remember with this movie. I thought there was actually less than this.
We've seen like 2
Wait, what is
games
this
before
game?
this scene, and now we got like 10.
This huge montage.
Although that montage was shorter than the traveling montage earlier.
Mrs. Batman, I mean Bateman.
He's talking
Mr.
to an American
Batman.
Psycho.
I'm Bateman.
Mr. Batman.
I want you to tell all your friends about me. I'm Bateman. There's so much swearing in this movie.
Look, he's wearing
For
a
no
bolo
reason.
tie.
What was that racing game that kid was playing?
I don't know, the graphics looked really good for 89 though.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly it was an arcade thing.
Oh, that was weird. If you're at like a truck stop and some guy goes, "Hey buddy, you want to make $50?" Always say no.
Well, she's not wearing a wig.
Hey, that person has a hat. I better approach them.
A hat!
What?
Last night in the Captain Logan show, somebody asked Vince, because he was guesting, what the purpose of a hat was.
Oh yeah, I saw
And
that.
Vince had opinions and had a whole Almost like I had a speech prepared. 5 minutes about the purpose of hats.
No, I'd never thought about that with getting a burn on the top of your head when you still have hair stubble. That was really traumatizing.
Why did they both have the same haircut? What?
Because it was 89.
Because they're gonna go take glamour shots.
This guy just looks like either Bon Jovi or like Dennis Leary.
He's Dennis Jovi.
Why is Lucas just at this truck stop? Like, does he have parents?
All these adults just grabbing kids.
He's just like hanging out at like a bar.
I'm having flashbacks right now to when my dad and I did a commentary for Maximum Overdrive, because it was, you know, like a couple years before this, I think. It was around the same time period, also made on a budget, and really freaking boring.
At least that was Green Goblin, though.
Yeah, there's overall more fun to be had there.
I just forgot how boring this movie was.
Dr. Chaos.
This is better in the second half than in the first half.
I don't know, there better be more robbing scenes, because I'm really getting bored without those.
See, this is when you know your movie has no ideas. Is when you have to wear funny glasses.
Yeah, but Fred Savage just keeps blowing the budget on random useless stuff.
Do you think he's blowing the movie budget on those things, Brandon?
Yeah.
You think none of these were intended props for the film, but he's just bored and being a jerk face?
What do you mean you're a dork? You were wearing them first. Get out of here, Fred Savage.
Get yourself a Slim Jim!
Snap into a Slim Jim! Yeah!
Yeah!
That's a hazard on the road right there.
Busted Sim says, you guys sure this was a good idea to relaunch video game movie Mania? Well, it was the next one on the list. We could have skipped it, but Jayson would have been very sad. Although, now that we're doing it, I think he might be thinking differently about that. Jayson, this movie sucks!
Yeah, I remember liking it better.
And not in a fun
when I
way,
first watched
except for, you know, occasional things. Like, we found some amusing things to make fun of, but... Like, look at Austin. He'd rather be doing anything else.
Why did they park the vehicle out?
I will say I kind of like the choice of going to a casino, because that was a place to find a lot of arcade machines.
Well, and arcades are just little kid casinos.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not little kid, but just kid casinos.
Oh, do you think there's social commentary there, Austin?
No. There could have been.
Do you know how glad I am that I asked you that question now?
Why is Zatanna working here?
No!
Did Paul Dini write this movie?
I don't want to comment at all on that, except to say I kind of wish I hadn't seen it.
That's been like my favorite realization over the last few months, is that
Oh my God, look at that guy.
The
Why did he
Zatanna
just
thing was really
focus on
funny.
that lifeguard
And then a few
the way
months
they
ago, I
did?
learned that he just married a woman that is just Zatanna.
Yeah, I forgot you. Yeah, you didn't know that.
It's really funny.
I've known that for a long time. And yeah, and a lot of years ago, like,
Yeah.
they're still together.
I mean, dude knows what he likes. You have no idea how often I've yelled, I hate you at random kids.
There he is.
He's still playing the only Play Choice 10 we have.
Out of
And
my way, old
why is there an
man.
arcade machine on the casino floor?
It's got its own area.
I guess it does, but it just...
Yeah, I guess it's sort of roped up. No, I'm with you. It's weird. That's not how that's usually lined. There it is.
Well, now
So-
we're getting
Yep.
real. Oh my goodness, I forgot
But why
about
did
that
she
line.
even have to yell it? He grabbed a child and went, "You're coming with me, boy."
Yeah.
Around a bunch of people. That should have been bad enough.
Nobody cares about the kid. They just
Yeah.
carted him off because she yelled.
Nobody cares.
Boat World.
If you're
My
a white-
name is Arthur, and this is my diversion.
Some boat world.
Boat World.
Oh, it gives fake Optimus Prime back there.
I'm pretty sure that's the.
I wish Optimus Prime was in this movie.
I'm pretty sure that's where people are making meth.
I want to see Optimus Prime and Walter White just hanging out here making meth.
The crystal ship turns into Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
There's button mashing
Must
again.
make meth on a...
That's not how you play Zelda. You don't just like.
That's how you play any game, though.
Okay,
So
the
why
NES
did he
is
start
not
playing the
plug and
Nintendo
play.
again?
the RF
Oh, look at that
switch.
Oh, it is an
dangling
RF switch.
from every TV they plugged it into. Hilarious.
Why do
It
they
just-
make it seem like the NES is like plug and play, where like it takes you like 2 seconds to just put it on top of the TV and then you're good?
Even though they're showing the RF switch.
Yeah.
Because for a sec, I was going to ask that earlier, Brandon. I was like, because I couldn't see it.
Mhm.
I was like, did they even put an RF switch into the TV?
There were
'Cause-
just RF switches on these TVs already.
already.
apparently.
Okay, because you would, obviously you would put the footage in post. You wouldn't, because you can't put a camera in front of a CRT and capture anything. 'Cause it
Not
just-
unless
'cause it
you-
just rolls.
well, unless you have the right frame rate, but I doubt they're doing that for this movie.
Yeah, and that's never how that's done. Like,
What they did for Next Generation.
We're at
is
the
they,
Oscar
they
clip
timed
right
the,
now.
TV monitors to the same frame rate as the cameras.
well, that's true because they had so many of them all the time. It would be prohibitive to do that in post, like time wise. No, that's a good point. But I just mean like in a scene with a television. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. If you could modify the camera, but I don't think that's easy to do.
I don't think I think that was very rarely done because you can usually tell like, oh, that's superimposed onto a screen. But maybe, and of course you've also seen things where they just let it roll.
How is that sexist?
I don't know.
I'm
Everything
sorry.
about
What
the
was
scene is terrible.
what was
That's
she
what he
saying?
said.
She's sexist, or is sexist?
They were like, that kid was like, there's a different, there's not really a difference between finding Zelda and finding your house, and she's like,
Oh.
you're so sexist.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, this whole thing is making me uncomfortable.
I don't know what was worse, that kiss, the sexist part, or this matte painting. Everything about this scene sucks.
Wait,
Doing
you
that
can
foot
literally
thing.
see the edge of the what?
Yeah, no, they literally put like a little stage there. It looks so bad.
Oh, payphone.
Yeah, they're trying to capture the awkwardness of like teen or preteen romance, and it's not working.
This is so 80s.
Yeah, but without the charm
Yeah.
of a lot of movies I like that I can say, look how 80s this is.
You know, like E.T.
I
Like
mean,
Savage
E.T.
was
sucks
13
about as
when
much
this,
as this does, so
Came out.
watch all the chat go up now.
I'm sorry, what were you talking about, Austin?
I said E.T. sucks as much as this movie. Now watch all the chat go up in complaints.
Our audience should be used to that from you by now. It's like, oh, that's just Austin going off again about E.T. It's becoming obligatory at this point. Heck, at some point
I
in
don't
your life,
understand
you might
what's
come to like E.T. and you're still going to say that.
Has he always been missing a tooth?
Nah, you probably won't
Yeah.
though.
He's missing a tooth since the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent
I think
to
so,
E.T.
Well, Jimmy just got taken like ET with the government.
Well, and
Oh
of
yeah,
course,
there's Optimus Prime. Now I see what you're talking
we're clearly
about,
looking
man.
at that as well. Oh, that's really funny. That's also not a Winnebago. Like, I wasn't saying the Walter White thing because that looked like a Winnebago. I was saying that because we were in the desert. Busted Sim is from Canada and says, I don't like E.T. either. It must be a Canadian thing.
Hopefully, yeah.
He told him to shut up. The kid hasn't said 5 words the whole movie.
Yeah, they didn't see a lot of missed opportunities in this movie. That's not what you do. You have the kid in the backseat go, California, shut up!
Shut up!
Oof.
Why is this guy even taking?
Stop
That's
it!
just straight up Optimus
This is
Prime.
just follow this bird.
It's even the same
Yeah.
color now.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
follow this bird.
Oh, look, it's Hell's Trucks now.
And that movie is less boring than this.
Yeah, follow that bird is better.
And it's a Sesame Street film.
Optimus second
This
Prime.
film is brought to you by the letters W
Good,
and
good
B.
one, Brandon.
Yeah, what the heck, Optimus Prime?
Yeah, you got Optimus on one side and Nemesis on the other. Why are both flat nose trucks like on the same parallel, and then the two long nose ones also parallel?
I'm pretty
Why
sure
is
you
that?
could.
I want your
The flat
driver's
ones
license
and
numbers.
the flat ones and the long nose are in front of each other, yeah.
Yeah. Why is that a thing?
See, she's a master manipulator. She knew if she said that these truckers would show up and
Yeah.
attack these guys.
Optimus Prime would save the day, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that you could get that car between, like, on the other side of those trucks.
Oh, he's got a Slurpee.
I'm pretty sure he
I
could have
wish-
just driven around them.
7
I wish Optimus Prime showed up and went, "We gotta stop him. He touched her breast.
Roll out.
Roll out."
Spanky? Could we not have that be? Look how.
This is my favorite character, just
I-
because he
I just gotta say,
he
this man is
does
enormous.
something.
He's huge.
This guy actually does something, and everyone else is just really bored, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm having a good time."
See, I want to say he knows what he's in, but I don't know
Oh,
what
that's
this
the guy's
is. So
name?
he's.
I really don't like that the kids were like, "Thank you, Spanky." What is this movie? Hey, look, there's not Mickey.
That also
Look
seems
at
like
you.
it was
Oh my
written.
gosh,
That
what
was
the
like
heck?
a Vietnamese park Mickey.
Now, Jason,
There's
That
Dracula.
Mickey Mouse.
but Jason, this is gonna be interesting because we were just at Universal.
Yeah, this is very different.
What is this guy's issue?
Get your cure cartridges.
He knows Ninja Gaiden.
it's a guy dead.
Again.
Why did you enunciate it that way?
Ninja Gaiden.
He knows Ninja Gaiden.
No, he owns his own dojo, and he's just doing this on the weekend.
Ninja Gaiden.
So yeah, this is the thing. This is the only thing anybody remembers about this movie, and I think for most people, it could just start here.
it's the part of the movie that's not very boring,
We haven't even
and
gone
it's
to the dinosaurs.
still make
yet.
funnable. And
Well, that guy had a stupid visor.
look at that glass of whatever
Oh,
it
it's-
is. It's like red. All the others are like clear, but that one guy's got a red glass.
And when we were kids, somehow there was a novelty, or at least there was to me, anytime you had a bunch of consoles in the same room, just because they were expensive and most people you knew only had one, maybe two, different consoles. So if you go someplace where, like in an arcade or something that had a bunch of consoles lined up along a wall, that was always kind of a big deal. Just because you're like, wow, somebody paid a lot of money for these.
So many
That's
kids
the name
have
of the
visors
movie.
seeing. So weird.
This is the
Just get a hat.
This is the most Nickelodeon set.
Yeah.
Why did they have this like big video game tournament in Universal Studios? Or not Studios, but Universal.
They did things like this at theme parks though, and some of it was spearheaded by Nickelodeon. Like, I'm actually a little surprised that they weren't involved with this movie.
When they did that with, it was SeaWorld for Jaws 3.
That was the most uninspiring pep talk ever.
But I think
To play
Nickelodeon.
Ninja Gaiden.
I think Nickelodeon did a tournament or no, it wasn't a tournament. It was some kind of a special for Sega in the early '90s that looked a little like this. Jayson, have you ever seen that?
What?
The Nickelodeon special that I think it was Nickelodeon. That they did for Sega, like around when Sonic 2 came out. I think I'll find footage of that for you because it's hilarious.
I remember that. Look at those like bent glasses.
Okay, so I don't know if you noticed that, Brandon.
What?
But we now I was looking for it, hoping or wondering if it would happen. That's a Batman shirt.
Yeah, I saw that too.
They have in this movie some consoles hooked up with RF switches.
Yeah.
And some hooked up with composite.
Do they?
Because they just showed one. Yeah, because
I missed it.
NES has had composite on the side,
Uh-huh.
which was really cool because a lot of the consoles that came after that didn't up until you got past the 16-bit era. And I never understood that because, like, you could just plug composite cables right into the back of it. They didn't even have their own proprietary other end. It was
Right.
just
What,
composite.
Just, yeah.
The game was still playing when he walked away from it. He was playing Ninja Gaiden, and he walked
but-
away, and like the character was still jumping.
And he
as
walked
he was
away.
walking away. I hope somebody was fired for that.
Busta Sim says the man sitting 3 feet away from his own home-based arcade. What was I saying that's weird? Having that. California. See, he's missing his lines, Austin.
Yeah. I just want to know who Lucas's parents are. Like, he just keeps showing up. But, like,
Uh-huh. He's a rogue kid. He's Rufio.
Yeah, he's Tommy Oliver. He doesn't
They're
have parents.
animals, and I slaughter them like animals.
God, Brandon, you blew my mind with the 50,000 thing. That drives me crazy.
Right?
You got 50,000 on Double Dragon? That's precisely how much money you're gonna get if you win this tournament.
Yeah. It's not even good foreshadowing.
Ninja
'cause it,
Gaiden.
it happens like so close to the reveal.
you
Busted
know,
Sim
I just
said-
realized,
sorry,
you
go
know
ahead.
what this set looks like?
Yeah.
I bored
It looks like Shredder's recruiting all of these people. They're all going to be the Foot Clan.
Well, and this announcer sounds like the Shredder from the Coming Out of Their Shells tour.
Look at the Frankenstein.
That's like the Rob Zombie Munsters.
Yeah. No, it looks better than that.
No, that is true.
Bustin
there's,
says about the novelty of owning more than one console. Well, yeah, I'm saying it was a big novelty back then.
There's a girl Woody Woodpecker?
What happened to your eye?
I didn't know that.
Do you have pink eye? Are we gonna get it?
The real question is, why didn't they hire a private detective? Like, who is this guy?
Oh, he's something like that.
Oh, is he a private? Okay.
Yeah.
Why didn't they hire a competent one?
Because they didn't know.
What does his shirt say?
Vision.
Is it Vision?
No.
It's
Illinois.
Sionis?
Yeah.
Roman Sionis?
Yeah.
He's an acolyte of Black Mask?
Yeah, exactly. He's Black Mask as a kid.
This is Black Mask's tragic backstory? He loses a video game tournament?
And Jimmy grows up to be the Riddler.
Why do they sell used books at Universal Studios?
I don't know.
Used books,
I
books
still want to know who the female Woody Woodpecker in the background was.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you know this, but in Florida they read up like this.
Oh, okay.
Where is your mother? Why is the Wolfman also
See, they're
trying
gonna
to
get their
on
big
this
climactic
bus?
action scene by putting cameras on buses that are just at Universal. It's riveting. And of course, this also becomes a big commercial just for Universal. Again, to your point earlier, it's not just video games.
Uh-huh.
Well, this isn't even that crazy for Florida. Oh, I guess, yeah, no, wait a minute. They're not in Florida. They're in the California version.
Oh, yeah. What are we talking about?
How would I not know that?
Yeah, no,
It's
of
almost
course.
like it's the crux of the film.
Because he's got to go to California. Well, that's how not invested we are. We lost the plot, Austin. You guys, we are doing our best here.
Something.
So
I feel like House of the Dead is going to be easier than this. Like,
I'm excited to get to some of those Uwe Boll movies because they're going to be so bad.
Wait, there was a House of the Dead
like
movie?
the Power Glove.
And
Yes,
his
Austin,
first
tell him
video-
about the House of the Dead. Tell him about the sound effects.
The sound effects.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the whole thing with the music and sound effects, and like, they just use footage from the games.
Oh yeah, no, I knew about that with the games, but it'll just like cut to shots of the game, like
Yeah,
in the middle of action scenes.
Sorry, that's what I meant. I thought there were also random places where they had sound effects from the games, but maybe I'm just thinking about the footage thing.
But
I
his
tried.
first
I watched the
video
first
game movie,
like
Cap,
40
is,
minutes of that.
Uwe Boll's first video game movie is Alone in the Dark, and you know who the star is for that, Cap?
No.
Christian Slater.
Oh my God. It's all connected.
It is all connected. It's endless.
No,
crap.
the reason for a second I thought we were in Florida is just because it's Universal, and
That's what I was thinking, 'cause I've
momentarily
only been to
forgot that they
Florida.
have one of those in California as well.
Yeah.
Well, Dad, the interconnection
Same
thing
here.
is not as crazy as the Crazy Castle thing.
No, the Crazy Castle thing is nuts.
It's crazy.
Everybody watched the most recent episode of AVGN.
Do I have to?
Yeah, it's nuts. Why don't you want to watch AVGN?
Oh.
How did they get above everything?
He's wholesale writing those himself again. I mean, they've gotten a lot better.
This guy, this announcer guy, I just realized also looks like the love child of Hugh Jackman and Michael Keaton. But like the discount version of their love child.
The dollar store love child?
Yeah.
This announcer takes Mountain Dew intravenously.
I think he injects it.
Yeah, exactly.
Coursing through his veins.
That's what intravenous means.
I've injected myself with gamer fuel.
This guy's crazy.
Why does he talk like this? Oh! No, don't do
From the
that.
state of California.
Don't do that. Bad touch.
Oh, don't quit touching her.
Oh god.
Yeah, right.
Quit messing with her
He called her
pigtails.
gorgeous.
Stop
he, like,
it.
grabbed her shirt by like here and was like, "She's gorgeous." Ooh.
Why?
This movie needs an adult.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So like it's creepy and weird, and he's also being all like condescending or something at the same time. Like
That girl should have yelled, he touched my breast."
I don't trust that elevator.
Yeah.
Or patronizing, I guess is the word.
This guy gets Bill Cosby'd in like 20 years. Jimmy.
The future voice of Violator.
Just repeats it. Like if they lost a kid somehow, I feel like they'd be
I always wanted a scene with this guy outside of the competition to see if he's still like this when he goes and orders coffee or whatever.
Where he's like, "I'll have a double."
Yeah. Or, buys 15 cases of Mountain Dew at the grocery store.
"I'll have a Big Mac."
Here it comes, Jason.
Yeah.
Mikey was just playing this earlier tonight.
So this would have, under any normal circumstance, disqualified him because he's back with the unreleased game in a competition.
What do you mean it would disqualify? Disqualify who? What are you saying?
It would disqualify Jimmy from the competition because that could be considered cheating.
Yeah, he might
I
have
don't
been
know what he's
messing around
doing
with
back
it.
there.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Getting advanced knowledge of what that nobody's seen this yet.
Yeah,
He had.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm sorry, I've lost the plot again.
The
You didn't
screens
lose
are all
it.
messed
It
up.
never
It's like bouncing around.
Oh, okay.
Why is it bouncing around?
Yeah.
Oof.
Because they poorly superimposed it.
Yeah, no, that is rough. I'm getting a real Legends of the Hidden Temple vibe from
Yes.
the console.
I've never
Yeah.
played Mario 3 with points.
And also, what was that, American Gladiators type game show with the Crag that Nickelodeon had? The set's a lot like that, too.
Why are
Was
they
it
all in the
Guts?
exact same
Nickelodeon's
spot?
Guts?
Might have been.
That's what it was. I'm sorry, Austin, what was that?
So why are they all in literally the exact same spot? It's like none of them are like a little bit ahead or behind.
That's true.
Well, they all fought to stop to get the mushrooms, so that...
They all knew was there.
Also, couldn't you just look over to the guy next to you and be like, oh, hey, that's where you get a mushroom?
Did
Like,
he just say watch the mushrooms?
How
Yes,
did
he said,
Jimmy
"Watch
know
the
you can
mushrooms."
fly?
The dad's all of a sudden
Watch
into
the
it.
mushrooms!
but also, what's he talking about? Because I think the idea is supposed to be, oh, he plays video games now, so he, even though nobody's ever played this game, he's invested in those things now, but like nothing they're writing makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
How did he know to do the
They're
P-Wing
Goombas.
without ever having played this? That was like brand new.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite line of the movie so far. The dad's like grabbing Fred Savage by the hair and just like yanking it. And then Christian Slater goes, "He's a changed man, this guy."
Well, like, obviously the idea is supposed to be the dad, like, sympathizes more with the kid now because he has played video games and sees the appeal of it. But, so the whole payoff for that is just he's in the audience going, yeah, like, it should be a situation where either the dad has to help him with that knowledge in some way, or he's been, I guess the idea is that he's been working against him the whole movie, but I don't know, it doesn't pay off as
that's
well as it
not
ought
a turtle, that's a hammer, bro. Or I guess a boomerang, bro.
Because he hasn't been really trying to stop him from getting the tournament, right? He's just been chasing him, right?
Yeah, it wasn't as. It was just to bring him home.
Round 2.
Yeah.
We said World 2.
I know this comes later, but it should be more of like
I say Round.
a School of Rock kind of situation. Where like you get to the end of that movie and the parents are like actively trying to stop like Shively from teaching their kids, and he's technically kidnapped them, and then they go to the concert, and now they're all involved,
Right.
because their kids are accomplishing something. This thinks it's doing that, is the point I'm making.
Gotcha.
Austin, so he's actually not saying rounds, he is saying worlds, but
But it
that's
sounds
still
like
not world 2, that's level 2.
Yeah, no, that is true too.
Yeah.
Well, I just want this guy to narrate sports because he's just like, Jimmy loses a life. He's going back to World 2.
Yeah, none of the terminology makes any sense. And
Yeah,
what's
that
this?
turtle's throwing a boomerang. Watch out for those mushrooms.
And
Jimmy
what's-
finishes world 2.
And what's the arbitrary point system here?
Forward.
That's not what the points are right there. I'm looking at the screen.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a point system that they have that's apart from the point system in the game. That's what's confusing about it. But I don't know what that's based on.
How do you
Like their
know that?
progress level.
What?
We know that.
Why? How would you
How do
know
they
that?
know that?
Magic
Yeah, you
flute.
guys are 10 seconds ahead of us. Sorry.
Brandon's right. This girl just knows things.
Yeah.
More
She's
than just street smart. She's
Yeah, how
video
do you
game
know that?
again.
smart.
She's got a time turner. She's been to the future. I don't think that's how that works, but
Did you read the script?
oh, that's interesting. Busted Sim says, funnily enough, they could remake this movie today about esports.
Huh.
That sounds like hell.
So, your pick for best actor/actress in this movie?
Pigtail Girl. Easily.
Absolutely.
She's beautiful.
Touch your pigtails.
She's beautiful.
Don't you feel like, Austin, the players shouldn't be able to see the other screens?
Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
Jimmy, winner, Jimmy.
Oh, I wish that clipboard hit that girl in the head.
Yeah.
Once again, the seconds.
Gee, I'm so shocked that our sad, deprived child with the tragic backstory won the tournament.
Oh
And
man,
now
I'm
he's
so
rooting for
sad
him.
that I don't have plot armor, but the main character does.
I did
yeah,
something,
Lucas should've won.
California.
I did something that was effortless that I've been doing the whole movie, and there was no difficulty. I had no difficulty with it. And I kept training arbitrarily with all these games that had nothing to do with the actual game that I... Like, they should have shown him playing Mario 1 a bunch. Because that at least would have been in the same vein.
Right?
Mhm. And they show people play Mario 2 a lot.
Yeah. Which is a completely different kind of game. Because it's a reskin of a different game.
Mhm.
They should have shown the girl playing the flute, and that's why she knew.
Oh boy.
That's amazing.
Because that makes her warp into a different dimension.
Yeah, exactly. She warps into like somewhere else.
Where things are bigger than they
He
usually
still has
are.
the safety pins on
What's
his
that,
back.
Jimmy? Someone stuck in a well?
This is the big setup and payoff, Brandon.
Yeah. The dinosaurs from the Sinclair station.
Right. That wasn't
It's
really a
long
magic.
neck.
That wasn't really a magic dinosaur. The magic was inside of you all along.
I feel like we need a Starleaf here.
I'm just imagining we're back at Dinosaur Story where the little girl goes, "They're real dinosaurs," and everyone freaks out.
Wouldn't it be nice if the payoff here had anything to do with
Video game.
with video games? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, with the journey. Like, maybe it is all remnants of a script where the Nintendo stuff was just superimposed on top of it.
I don't know if you can still go in these dinosaurs.
What do you think the original climax was?
Well, I think he was maybe like he was a child paleontologist.
And then he discovers the Velociraptor.
He was going across country, and he learned that. Well, I was gonna say that velociraptors have feathers somehow, but we didn't discover that until well after this.
Well, you could do like social commentary where he finds that out, but then the scientific community doesn't want to hear it, and then they assassinate him at the end.
California, and then on his tombstone, that's what it says.
Yeah, it doesn't even have his name; it just says California, and it's spelled wrong.
And then they do a sequel that's like a Search for Spock, where they
like-
resurrect him, and it's called He's Back, a Dinosaur Story.
Or it's like Pet Cemetery when they dig him up.
I'm sorry, Brandon, what was it?
They don't understand why they're here yet. Almost everybody here is in that photo. Like, it's the family. Bo Bridges, the ex-wife, Fred Savage, little Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Everyone
they
breathed
can't
in too
figure
much
it out
carbon
until they see the
monoxide and they
photograph.
don't remember.
Oh, now you're a psychoanalyst? Okay.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Seriously, how excited would you be if I bought you a Power Glove?
Oh,
Pretty
man.
excited. Honestly. I wouldn't use it.
Oh,
But it would be
man.
Well, I know you wouldn't use it, but I'm sure you'd love to get your hands on one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
insane. I would have to take a look at that.
Dad, you know what movie this makes me want to watch?
What's that?
Because it's just so much better just looking at them side to side.
Yeah.
Angels in the Outfield.
No.
Like, that movie is, like,
That's terrible for
Batman
other
Begins
reasons.
compared to this movie.
And I don't think that's true.
Angels in the
Well,
Outfield has a whole bunch of great actors
it's
in it.
awful, but it's got pacing. I'm not even saying good
Yeah.
pacing. I'm just saying it has pacing.
And it's not very boring.
No,
Oh.
it's just cringe-inducing.
Stop having these kids kiss. I don't like it.
Stop! Oh,
Stop!
stop!
This is about to turn into the famous
Oh my
It sewer
gosh.
scene.
Stop!
You guys imagine if Harry Potter ended like this, like the first one.
Oh boy.
No, it just turned into
so
the
that's
It
Harry, Ron,
scene.
and Hermione then. Okay.
Yikes. And that's what we ended on. What the hell?
Yeah, that's
That's a
the
good
image that you're
bookend,
left
though.
with.
That's a good bookend, though. Like, them, like, they're on the
I
highway.
feel like it should end like the Hulk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where
Walking down the
he's
highway.
walking toward us all lonely, and then now they're driving away, and he's with his family and his friends, and he's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick the video counselor.
Spanky was played by Frank.
Bubblegum girl.
Oh look, Gene Skillen played Strickman.
Strick.
Strick-
man.
Yeah.
Strickland?
You'll no
There's a guy named Billy Hankhooker.
no McFly has ever amounted to anything in the history of Hill Valley.
Jerry Ketchum. Some good names in here.
I think it's fair to say now I know precisely how far ahead you are. Now you said it. I think it's safe to say-
Macacao.
all the music in this movie sucks. Like all of
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a note I liked in this movie.
No, this is like the 5-cent version of Cyndi Lauper.
I like the hoedowns.
It's terrible.
Austin, are we really gonna do this every 2 weeks again?
Apparently.
Maybe the real reason subconsciously we shut it down was because we knew what we were in for the next few movies. Like, this makes me look forward to the Resident Evils by comparison. Like,
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is that this sucked, and we know that there's like one good movie moving forward.
yeah, because we got to do Mario next. But I mean, at least I can have some fun with that, and I've done a commentary on that before.
But I've never seen it, so I'm interested to see that.
I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, I need to be there then.
I'm excited to watch
Because I
you watch
really want
that.
to see your reaction to that movie.
Why is this going to be the big panel show? What's up, Brandon?
Oh, nothing. I'm listening to you.
Oh, speaking of, the caterer was Mario's Catering, and we'd like to thank the
Craft services.
we'd like to thank the Mario brothers for catering this film.
Boggle and
Would you like to
Super
play-
Mario Brothers?
This movie had 3 dialogue editors.
Grim Death Griffin. There was the Bobby
That's
Brown
crazy.
"Don't Be Cruel" song. That wasn't bad. Oh, I missed that. To be fair, I want to go to a casino now.
What would you play at the casino?
Well, they probably don't have any arcade machines anymore.
Probably not. Isn't that
So-
just play a slot machine?
So I think the answer is roulette for 10 minutes, and then I'd leave.
Oh yeah, roulette's great.
I like to play the penny slots.
If you're a millionaire, it's wonderful. Because even if I went in with like $1,000, how long am I really going to be able to stand at a roulette table before I
The
run
right
out of cash?
stuff. Oh.
There's a bunch of
Oreos.
Kids on the Block songs.
Oh, wow.
Yikes.
See, everybody sold out for this movie. Everybody.
Yep.
Even some
Cameras
companies that probably
and
didn't know they were
lenses.
involved.
Panavision.
Yeah, Panavision, cameras and lenses.
You know, I've done a lot of Power Rangers content on this channel and talked over a lot of Power Rangers episodes, and somehow I feel dumber for watching this movie in a way I haven't with Power Rangers.
That was weird. It just gave me the Hindi version credits for 5 seconds and then ended.
You should have watched it that way.
What?
Would have been great if we got
That's
to the end of
weird.
the movie and you were like, okay, so I didn't tell any of you guys about this, but I was actually listening to the Hindu version of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd have been awesome. I want to see that version of California.
Well, it's all been said before, but like the Power Glove, that was bad. And that was worse than I remembered it.
That was pretty terrible.
That was way worse than I thought it was. That movie sucks.
Jayson, if you had watched it again a week ago, would you have still insisted on being on this commentary?
Huh? Yeah.
Well, we had as much fun with it as humanly possible. Any final thoughts before we end off here, guys? We're losing
How
Brandon.
did this not?
I lost the
destroy
plot.
Fred Savage's career.
He's ready to go to bed.
Oh, so California and Hindi is just California.
Thanks, Jayson. Luckily, not a lot of people are probably going to watch the show. I
Kids
want
say the
shirts
darndest things.
like that are just the same food all the way down. Like, I'm looking at this like, I want one with marshmallows.
Cool.
That'd be good. Or pepperonis.
Ugh.
I don't actually like pepperoni, but, well,
You
I
do all
used to. I
sorts
don't
of
eat
stuff you
pepperoni.
do love.
I'm just saying it would look amusing.
Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes? Yeah, that's good. Anyway.
Cheerios.
Everybody, thanks a lot for watching. We sure appreciate it. And Austin, I guess we're doing Mario next time.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. And next week we're doing Lyle Crocodile, so it's gonna be quite the month.
Oh yeah.
This is
Oh,
the first
man.
announcement for that. But yes, next Friday night we'll be doing another blind commentary on the new Lyle Crocodile movie.
I had that book growing up.
We're not even joking. That's not a gag. That's what we're doing. It's a follow up to our Clifford commentary from a year ago.
Oh god.
Yep.
And it will be glorious,
Oh, yes.
I'm sure. And I have homework to do because Austin sent me a hardcover of the original Lyle Crocodile books and has insisted that I read them before we do the commentary. So I'm gonna try to make sure that I do that, and then I'm gonna talk about how authentic it is to the source material.
Oh, not even close according to the preview.
I'm gonna find out. Everybody, thanks
Yeah,
a
then
lot.
you can complain about if it's far off. It's bad
Austin
adaptation.
Sim. Thanks for the crap cap, Jason. Did you have a
Captain Logan.
good
Yeah,
time?
bringing back Crafton Logan.
Jason, did you have fun?
Yeah.
That's a no.
Brandon, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
We're so sorry we made everyone watch this movie.
We're gonna get going. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll be back with you on next week with more stuff. I guess Monday I'm gonna finally try to do the Power Rangers 2017 rewind, so look forward to that. And in the meantime, I was Captain Logan. We had Brandon Grimm.
We did have me.
We had Jayson, and we had
Yeah.
Austin the Day Ghost.
Have fun.
So what's opposite of the day ghost? The night.
Yeah,
Living.
Yeah, the night living.
I'm trying to end the
person.
show, Brandon. Bye,
Sorry.
bye, everybody.